This learning is Le'ili Nishmas Bruya Bas Chananya, Meseches Peah, Perek, Mishnayos. When workers would harvest a field, they would do it in a few stages. First, they would cut the crop, then they would make bundles, then they would take these bundles and make heaps throughout the field, and these heaps had different shapes and different sizes, and then afterwards they would take these heaps and bring them to a big pile on the threshing floor where they would thresh. So our Mishnah teaches, Hame'amer, someone who makes these piles, these small heaps throughout the field, whether it's l'chayvais, whether it's like a hat, meaning that it's piled up above the ground and it looks like a hat, or if it's uluchum sa'is, whether it's in a ditch or a pit where then it's covered because you can't see it, it's not above ground, lacharara, whether it's like a pancake that it's flat and spread out, villa amarim, or if a person makes a pile with small bundles and then before bringing it to the threshing floor, they take these small bundles and make them into bigger bundles. In all of these cases, ein loy shichacha. There's no shichacha from what the person brought to these heaps. Mimenu v'lagerin. However, what the person brings from these heaps to the threshing floor, so then yesh loy shichacha. There is shichacha. So as the Mishnah will explain, shichacha only applies when a person is bringing the produce to the final place where it's going to all be, where the work will all be completed, which in this case is to the threshing floor. So only what the person forgets in the location that they're taking it from there to the threshing floor is their shichacha, but not from the previous location to the piles. The Mishnah continues, Hama'amer legadish. What if someone was gathering the produce and the bundles in these piles in the field, but they don't intend to bring it afterwards to the threshing floor? They're going to do the threshing in the field itself. So then, yesh le shichacha, there is shichacha, because this is the final destination. What happens if mimenu lagerin? What if the person then changes their mind and they decide they're going to take it from these heaps, from these piles, and bring it to the threshing floor? So then, ein le shichacha, it doesn't have shichacha, since there's only one time when there's shichacha. And since they originally planned on doing the threshing in these piles, and so there was shichacha from the place they were bringing it from the field to these piles, so if they change their mind and now they also want to take it from these piles to the threshing floor, now there won't be shichacha. And the Mishnah concludes, Zeh haklal, this is the rule. Kol hama'amer l'mokim shehu gmar malacha. Any person that's making these bundles to a place where it's going to be the final work is going to be done, the threshing, so even if it's done in the field, then yesh le shichacha, there is shichacha when a person brings the crop to this location. Mimenu v'lagerin, if the person then decides to bring it to the threshing floor, so since there was already shichacha to the piles and the heaps in the field, so now ein le shichacha, it doesn't have shichacha. And if it's l'makim she'ein gmar malacha, what if a person is gathering the produce to a location that's not the final work, for example, these heaps in the field, and they plan to later bring it to the threshing floor, so when they're bringing it to the heaps in the field, ein le shichacha, there's no shichacha. And if it's mimenu v'lagerin, when they're taking it from these heaps to the threshing floor, so since that's where the end of the work is going to be done, so therefore the halacha is yesh le shichacha, there is shichacha.